Hi and welcome to Outwell and to our Newgate 4 from our Regency collection. You can see that it's a compact tunnel design tent which is aimed to sleep up to 4 people. I'm just going to talk you through the features and we'll start off with our fly sheet. This is our Outex AirTech material, so it's poly cotton. Now this has a few advantages, namely number one is that it's going to last a very long time thanks to its natural material in there, so the cotton part of that just is much better for UV degradation. We also then have a natural waterproofness to this, so this will actually seal itself. Once it gets wet and dry a couple of times, it will actually seal itself. So there's no hydrostatic head on this tent, but that doesn't mean it's not waterproof. The third advantage of polycotton is that it's going to keep you nice and cool inside the tent. On a warm day like this, for example, these tents will be much more breathable than standard sort of polyester versions. So the frame that we use on here is a combination of steel for the main part of the tent, and we then have our Duratec fiberglass pole at the front here, which just creates this canopy porch area at the front, which we'll show you in detail shortly. All of the poles you can see here are colour coded to match the colours on the sleeves, so pitching it is really simple, really easy, you can't go wrong at all here. We have large ventilation panels on both sides of the tent and across the back here, and we'll show you these from the inside, but there's mesh panelling in here. If it gets a little chilly, then we can simply get rid of these just by taking the Velcro tabs in like this and closing down the ventilation. You can see we have large windows on both sides of the tent as well and at the front, and these windows are all tinted, so these serve two key functions. One is to reflect a little bit of the sunlight away from the inside of the tent, and the second is just that it gives you a little bit better privacy as well. Next, I'll show you our wind stabiliser system. So this is where we attach the guy lines onto the frame of the tent using these Velcro straps. So if I just show you this, all we have to do is simply wrap these Velcro straps around the frame and then pop this Velcro strap around, which will hold it in place. Then when we take the guy lines out and peg them into place, it pulls the entire fly sheet against the frame of the tent, making it much more solid and much more stable, and these will stand up to quite a high wind pressure. So the guy lines on the tent are our floating guy lines. Now these come pre-attached, so you don't have to tie them on. And what you will see here is there's two parts to the guy lines. So the top half of them are the same tones as what we use on the tent, and the bottom half are luminous, just to stop you from tripping over them quite as easily when it's a little bit darker. We also use our easy pegging system on this tent here, so this is where we supply you with 3 different styles of peg. We have the solid steel peg for the anchor points, and these would go into all of the grey loops. We then have the luminous plastic peg for the luminous parts of the guy lines, and we have the black plastic pegs for all the black pegging points around the side of the tent as well. So nice and easy to know that you get the right peg in the right place. Also, just while we're coming around the front, I'll highlight that the front area of the tent has these mud valances on here, so that's just going to encourage any rainwater to run down the tent and away from the front of it. So this is a nice little feature. At the front of the tent here we have this canopy, and we have good protected sides here as well, so if you want a little bit of shelter, if it's a little bit breezy, then you can tuck yourself away in here. You can also shade yourself a little bit from the sunshine, or even if it's just a little bit drizzly but you still want to enjoy the outdoors, you can bring your seats here and enjoy that. So the tent itself is a good space actually when we step into it. It's a good sized door, allowing you to get all of your kit in and out of here, no problem at all. It's also quite spacious in terms of height. I'm quite tall at about 1.95 meters, and you can see I actually have plenty of head height here. I can stand up no problem at all. The tent is actually feels a little bit more spacious because of these huge windows all around us here, allowing lots of light into the tent. You can see each window has its own curtain, which we've just rolled away at the bottom here. But if you want a little bit more privacy, they can either be brought up halfway or you can fully close the curtains at the top. So just here as well, I'll point out this is the mesh ventilation that we talked about from the outside there. So again, great opportunities for ventilation. And just to highlight as well, the front door itself does have a full mesh door on here too. So you can leave this rolled back, but then take your mesh door and roll this all the way across and zip it into place. Again, just allowing for great ventilation purposes too. At the back of the tent is where the bedrooms are, and what you'll find here is that we're using our wave-shaped hanging point system. So not only does it give it a nice design look to it, but it also has a great function where it takes any stress points off of the seam at the top of the bedroom. The bedroom's a good size and can sleep up to 4 people. It has some storage pockets on the inside, just down the side here, ideal for smaller personal possessions. At the back it has a large ventilation panel, which again corresponds with outside ventilation. And you'll also find that we have some storage pockets on the front, again good for smaller personal possessions. And the door you can roll away completely and just pop into a pocket there just to keep it nice and neatly out the way. The ground sheet that we use in here is actually a zip-in ground sheet all the way around us. It's also bathtub in style, so it's going to stop any drafts, it's going to stop any creepy crawlies getting in, and hopefully keep out things like dirt, dust and sand as well. We have a few optional extras available for the tent. We have the fleece carpet that you can see here at the moment, just giving you that home away from home feel. There's also a footprint available for this tent too. So that's all of the features of our Newgate 4 from our Regency collection. Thanks very much for watching.